everyone. I'm here to tell you that Tinubu's illegitimate government displaces over 200 families to accommodate presidential air fleet. In a situation, we are in Nigeria where things are dire, where a lot of people are going through so much economic hardship, insecurities, you name it. People are having to tighten their belt and all of that. But guess who are the people who are not tightening their belts, who are on a mission of wasteful spending? Of course, it is the people in this illegitimate government of former governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let me take you on what Sahara Reporters has here. It says Tinubu displaces Tinubu's illegitimate government. They didn't put illegitimate, but for me, he's an illegitimate government. Displaces over 200 families to accommodate presidential air fleet extension in Abuja. Citizens seek compensation. Bola Tinubu led illegitimate government demolition for presidential air fleet expansion has left Nuwalege residents in crisis. Over 200 families displaced from their long-time homes appeal for compensation to restart their lives. As much as some people will say that, okay, there are times where a presidential fleet is needed and all of that, but there are times for every season. This is not the season for lavish spending. This is not the season for wasteful spending. But we've seen Bola Ahmed Tinubu has gone on to acquire more jets. These jets that nobody is telling anybody what the price is. There has been report that this is not even a new jet, that it's one that had been used, over time, and some are saying whether this will be the third owner and stuff like that. One thing that is interesting, because a lot of people have been asking, Tinubu and his people, how much did you buy this jet? Can there be transparency, accountability? Let Nigerians know how much exactly was paid for this. In my mind, I'm thinking, is it that they paid the price for new, the money that they will use is price for new, but meanwhile the jet is not new, and then what would now happen to the difference? Is there something always? But then when it's Tinubu, there's always a lot of shades attached to it. For someone whom you don't know his name, his real name, you don't know his real age, you don't know his real parents, you don't know his real schoolmates. Nobody has ever come out to say that, oh, this is the person that we went to the same primary school with. Nobody knows who the parents are, no pictures, nothing anywhere. Oh, about pictures, this is someone who stole somebody else's picture, Donald Duke's childhood picture. They stole it and put it on this thing that they use, that, oh, that is Tinubu. Well, somebody that can steal picture, you can also steal somebody's destiny. Nuwalege is a rural community situated along the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport Road in Abuja. The affected residents, who had called Nuwalege home for years, are now appealing to government for compensation. On a serious note, governance is all about humanity. It's all about being humane. It's all about having integrity. It's all about having character. It's all about caring for the people. How do you just wake up, you displace 200 families without even thinking of how you're going to get them compensation, without even thinking of there are children in those families, there are women, there are men. This is their life. This is what they're used to. How are they going to cope? We've seen it again and again. Authorities will just wake up, demolish houses, demolish, people's places of living, drive away people without any compensation for the people. That's not the way things are supposed to be. And we wonder why we have people in Nigeria who actually do not have patriotism towards the country, do not have a care for the nation. How would somebody who has been in this kind of situation, for example, a child who was taken away, who just saw their house being destroyed by government, have any liking for the state that could be so cold and so brutal and so callous and do this thing, to that child and the family? So this is how we breed resentment against the nation. The Punch reports that the Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA, carried out a demolition at the request of the Nigerian Air Force, NAF, Following the demolition, displaced residents sought shelter in nearby communities including Zamani, Sauka, Giri, Ido, and Gwagwalada. Preparation for the Presidential Air Fleet (PAF) project are underway with the Nigerian Air Force personnel deployed to the site. However, affected Nwalege families await compensation from the Federal Capital Territory Administration, NAF, and Ministry of Aviation. With the way things are hard, with the way things are going, you have to think about compensation before you even begin to do anything as such. In humane countries, that's what will usually happen. With the way things are hard, you know how difficult it is for people to even get where they're going to stay, what they're going to eat, where are the children going to go to school. I mean, some of them in that community had their businesses that are thriving. Now they have been displayed. Definitely, they're going to start all over again from the beginning. Who is taking note of that? But hey, definitely not people who do not care for citizens. In December, FCT Development Control Director Mukhtar Galadima disclosed the Air Force's plan to relocate to Nuwalege residents, but compensation status remained unclear. After January's demolition, Galadima claimed residents received a 2-month notice and followed a relocation policy. 2 months notice, where are you going to go to? If you're going to rent a house, you're going to have some money that you pay for that your whole life. How does that work? You can't just give people notice and just tell them to go into the wilderness. Ordinarily, government is supposed to do the needful, relocate them, get them where they're going to be, provide where they're going to go to. But hey, definitely not this illegitimate government as it is. Uh, However, residents disputed this, stating they received no prior notification or compensation. Residents expressed shock and disappointment over the sudden demolition, contrary to initial 2-year notices. They shared stories of lost homes, ancestral burial sites, and family separations. Authorities directed compensation inquiries to the Ministry of Defense, or FCTA. Now spokesperson AVM Edward Gapquet directed victims to the Ministry of Defense, or the FCTA, for compensation matters, noting that NAF does not provide compensation for lands allocated to it by the federal government. Senior Special Assistant to Bola Tinubu Temitope Ajayi referred inquiries to the Minister of Aviation Festus Keyamo and National Security Advisor Noko Ribadu. Keyamo did not address compensation, but mentioned the report on compensation for the Jiwa community. On the other hand, the Ministry of Defense spokesperson Henshaw Ogbubike did not respond to calls or messages. The FCT Director of Development Control Galadima and the FCT Director of Resettlement and Compensation Nasiru Suleiman could not be reached for comment on the compensation issue. That was what Sahara reporters had to say, had in. But at the end of the day, we must have a country where citizens are treated with decency and respect. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.